Hi guys, and welcome to the Student Switchboard. For our first official video, we are going to be talking about procrastination. Now, procrastination is something that I'm pretty sure every single student has suffered from at one stage or another. Now, you can't say 100% focus 100% of the time, but if you do find that you're falling into that bad habit of every time you sit down to study, something starts to distract you, or you manage to get up halfway through and go off to start doing something else. These are 10 things that I would recommend doing at least 10 minutes before you sit down to study to avoid getting distracted. Number 1, go to the bathroom. This is a really obvious one, but if you go to the bathroom before you actually sit down to start studying, you're not going to decide 10 minutes after you start to study that you desperately need to pee. Number 2, get a drink and get a snack. Whether that's a cup of tea or a bottle of water or some healthy fruit or a bar of chocolate, whatever it is that you want to get, make sure that you've got that in front of you to eat and or drink before you start studying. One of my biggest distractions when I was studying was deciding that I was peckish after the first half hour or so and getting up and wandering off to the kitchen if I was at home to go and make a cup of tea or get a biscuit, or going down to the vending machines if I was in uni. If you've got that covered before you start, no need to get up and go anywhere. Number 3, and this is an important one. Check all of your social media accounts before you sit down to study. The internet and social media has really aided our procrastination. There are so many things that you can sit and look up on the internet when you should be writing an essay or studying for an exam. However, if you check your social media accounts, so your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever your favourite social media channel is, if you have checked them before you sit down to study, you're less likely to want to check them 5 minutes after you start. You know what's been going on, you've seen if anyone sent you a message or liked your most recent photo, so you can put that firmly out of your mind. Tip number 4, turn off your notifications. This one is linked very closely to point number 3, but if you turn off your social media notifications, so mute any group chats or turn off your notifications for your Instagram or your Twitter, then you're not going to see your phone lighting up and you're not going to be as tempted to go and check it. Number 5, again very linked to this. Send a message or a text to your friends to say do not disturb for the next X amount of time. Friends naturally want to check in, see what you're up to, make plans, but if they do that while you're in the middle of a proper study session, it's going to break your focus. So if you send a quick message to them before you get started saying, I am unavailable for the next 2 hours or however long you're planning to study for, then hopefully they're less likely to get in touch and distract you. Number 6. Stretch your legs. I always find that if I got up for a quick walk around the library before I sat down to do a dedicated X amount of time of study, it hopefully means that after 10 minutes of studying you're not going to be feeling the urge to get up and go for a wander. Number 7. Make a plan for later. If you make a proper concrete plan with one of your friends for later in the day, whether it is meeting up to go out for dinner, going to the gym, going to the cinema, even just going round to their flat, it cuts the amount of time that you have in the day to actually get your work done. So if you're meeting up with your friends at 7:30, you know that you only have up until say 7 o'clock to actually get your work done. If you don't have any plans for later in the evening, you're far more likely to dilly-dally and not actually get the work done quickly. In your head, you'll start saying, I've got plenty of time, I've got all evening to get this done, and that can very often result in you putting things off and then finding yourself sitting at 10 o'clock at night when you'd much rather be doing something else, finishing your essay. If you have plans that you don't want to miss out on, you're less likely to waste time. Tip number 8. Organise your workspace. Now, whether you're someone who's perfectly comfortable with clutter or you like a really tidy workspace, make sure that wherever you're working is organised and filled with everything that you could possibly need before you start studying. If you need a calculator, make sure you have a calculator. Make sure you have all of the books that you need, all of the pens, notebooks, anything that you could potentially need sitting in front of you. If you don't do this in advance, it gives you the perfect excuse to get up and go wandering, to go through your bag, to go to your bookshelf to get something. Tip number 9. This might sound like a silly one, but make sure that you have a jumper or a scarf or a cardigan, something to keep you warm. Whether you're in the library or you're at home, make sure you've got something like that with you, because as someone who is cold a lot of the time, I got very easily distracted if I was too cold in the library. And finally, tip number 10. Get ready for the day before you get started. For you, that might literally mean taking a brush through your hair and brushing your teeth, or it could mean getting completely and utterly ready, getting fully dressed, putting on a full face of makeup and curling your hair. Whatever it means to you, get yourself organised for the day ahead. If you do that in advance, you're not going to hear that little voice in your head going, you really should have had a shower before you started studying, or why didn't you do your hair this morning? So that's it for my top 10 tips to avoid procrastination. I really hope that that was useful for you guys and that you enjoyed it. If you liked this video and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And leave me a comment in the comments below letting me know what your tips are to avoid procrastination. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye!